welcome to the podcast. I'm Scott McLean. My guest today is, well, he's a second-time guest. I had him on maybe about a year and a half ago, with just the audio podcast before I started doing video, which I was forced to do. Not really. But yeah, my guest is Tim Roberto, founder of Stomping Out The Stigma. Tim is going to tell you what Stomping Out The Stigma does because I don't want to screw it up. Like, I don't ever want to miss anything with the guests. I learned that along the way. So Tim's going to tell you all about Stomping Out The Stigma, and we also are going to talk about the long walk. The long walk. So how you doing today, Tim?
I'm blessed, Scott. I'm blessed. Thank you for having me on.
It's always a pleasure, my friend. Always good to see you, too. Me and Tim became friends as soon as we met. We met at the Mission United. Johnny Shrey introduced us, and we hit it off. You know, us people in recovery, we seem to bond.
It's like instant. It's instant, man. Like, military to or veteran to veteran, cop to cop. It's just
alcoholic to alcoholic, drug addicts to addicts. It's how to.
Yeah, and this is kind of like our second podcast already. We already had one when I got here.
Yeah.
That's right. We caught up and talked for about 45 minutes.
Yeah. The pre-interview, but it's more of a discussion with me and Tim.
Yeah.
So again, welcome to the podcast. So let's get right into it. Tell us, you're the founder of Stomping Out The Stigma. Give us the story behind that.
Well, as a guy that's in long-term recovery, through mental health and substance use disorder. I paid a high price for many years. And the highest price, I think at that time in my life was when I got, discharged from the Marine Corps after 2.5 years. That was like devastating to me, and I never fully recovered from that because, I have that background where my family was really aggressive. I'm one of 5 boys, like, my dad was from Italy, just a no-nonsense kind of guy. It's all I get all that. That's kind of cool, I learned a lot from that, but I'm still just a little kid at 5 years old, needs a kiss and a hug and says, "I'll see you tomorrow morning, pal." And that was, that was tough to get. So I think I treated myself accordingly as I got older. And of course, being in an aggressive household, I was walking on eggshells as early as I can remember, Dad, when's he going to come home, like that kind of stuff. So I never really was able to get that bond and that camaraderie with men, I think. My brothers were kids. We're all just wrestling, punching each other and calling each other's names, There wasn't that. It
wasn't the Brady Bunch.
That's for sure.
It was the Roberto Bunch.
100% behind the scenes times 10. Yeah, it was very dysfunctional. So, so that was the first thing I really bonded with, the people, the men that I really bonded with. And they were just as nuts as me, but we were all in a controlled state of intenseness, It was just awesome, man. I kicked ass in boot camp and then kicked ass but just that training and all the toys and all the equipment, like just, man, I loved it, but always training for war. It's a Marine, right? We're always training for war. We're always training for combat because, right, we get deployed like that. But, I never knew, like, until now, of course, and through the relief of the mental health and addiction. I didn't know back, but I know now, the greatest battle I was training for was the war in my head. And that was brutal. And, and that stigma, you're a Marine, suck it up. But I get all that too, but man, I'm still just a guy. I'm still a human behind the uniform. I'm still a human. I have this wiring to me. But, I just couldn't get it out. Hey, I need help. So I went AWOL over and over. You go kick some ass out in the field. You come back, your CO would be like, "Hey, great job, guys. Don't get arrested." I get arrested. There's always the MPs, right outside of Camp Lejeune there. And that was just devastating to me. And then, of course, it really fueled the addiction more and my depression. And just, I struggled, man. I couldn't live life on life's terms. I had a really difficult time doing that. I had great comping skills. had phenomenal copping skills. I mean, gosh, you could drop me off in the Sahara Desert, and I would still cop. Might take me a little longer, but I could cop. I just had no coping skills, man. I just couldn't cope. I just didn't know how to live life on life's terms. Yeah. So in my recovery, I'll be coming up on 19 years on April 15th.
Nice.
And I'm very fortunate. My nickname in the community is Tax Day Tim.
Good one.
Dude, I was like, I don't know. I've been going to the same home.
That sounds familiar. That date sounds familiar.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, that's great.
But you must pay your taxes because you laugh, because I get to speak a lot. You know what I mean? And it's, for me, I found that it's like a great intro. It's like a great lead in. Hey, my name's Tim, recovered alcoholic. I'm totally powerless over drugs as well. My sobriety date's April 15, 2007. I'm also known as Tax Day Tim. And if you know what I'm talking about, you laugh like you did. And then the people that are just like,
crickets.
Huh? They look at,
I don't get it. Yeah.
So it's a great lead-in because I say, you don't pay your taxes, and you do.
Or we do on the last day.
Yeah, 100.
Or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So 15 years, when you suffer quietly, when you suffer in silence, because of stigma, I was using from 11 years old to 44 homeless right here in Deerfield Beach. This fellow I was in the Marine Corps with in Camp Lejeune, he was from Jersey too. I grew up in Jersey, and when I got out before him, when he got out, he became a Newark police officer. I'm like, Charlie, you didn't have enough. He's like, it's just the way it is, Tim. And I understood that. Became a Newark police officer, and after 6 years in Newark, it's like Afghanistan, really. The physician, the agency doctor, put him on Klonopin. And in 1 year, talk about having the itch, man, the bug. In 1 year, he was to the needle.
Wow.
And he lost his job.
Yeah.
And that's made him spiral like it did when the Marine Corps cut me. And anyway, he came to Florida, and I called him one day. I was so desperate, man. I was homeless. He's like, I was waiting for this day. It's like the great pimp, man. It's like the great illusion. I hear it all the time as an addictions counselor now. I hear it all the time. I can't believe they knew.
Yeah.
And I am saying the same thing. I was like, really, Charlie, you knew? He's like, Timmy, you couldn't even talk when you called me half the time. I'm like, oh, my God. Because we think nobody knows, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
So he got me into this place that he went to. And I ended up staying there for almost 9 years. And I started out, I got a little scholarship, had a couple $100 in my pocket. I started cleaning toilet bowls, picking up butts, garbage around the property, blah, blah, blah. That led into painting apartments there. I just kept working my way up, went back to school, etc. And, my recovery and my journey in this field has been incredible to me.
You don't really appreciate it unless you start from the bottom again.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was in treatment. I got divorced in treatment. I signed my house over in treatment. The state took my kids away from me in treatment. And I had nothing to use. I had to sit with that. And that was brutal, man. That was the final blow. Like, I don't even know if that's the right way, because, people ask me now, wow, it's so long. Like, what do you think happened? I don't even have to think. I'll tell you what happened. They're like, what happened? I was like, my pain outgrew my fear. That's what it was. When all that was coming, it was my pain. I was so broken, Scott, man, so lonely. Oh, man, it still gets me emotional after all these years, just living so lonely. It's like the worst boulder you can carry, man. It's So my pain outgrew my fear, and then as I got better at living life on life's terms, not Tim's terms, I was able to teach other people, like, if you're really leading a fear-based life, you're making fear-based decisions, and if you're making fear-based decisions, you're only creating more fear. So, AKA the drain.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get out.
The death spiral.
The death spiral.
Yeah.
So, I just met beautiful people. I met amazing people like yourself, the frontliners. Man, I always wanted to be a frontliner. I had a service heart from a little kid, you know. So in my 15th year, I said to my wife, I said, you know, something's going on, man. I'm like feeling something like a movement. Oh, okay. Well, you know, you've been talking to God for a long time. Maybe just wait and see. And one day I heard, take it back to where you got sober. Because I really wanted to do something from this 15th year. That's a privilege denied so many, especially amongst the vets, you know. And our,
sure.
And our death by suicide rate's horrible. So I heard one day, take it back where you got sober. I live in Boynton Beach, Florida, and I got sober in Deerfield Beach, Florida. So I just Googled it on my phone. I'm like, 20 miles. Oh, that's odd. Meh. Just let it go. You know, and a few more days passed, maybe a week or something passed. And I went, that's what I'm going to do. God, I'm going to show you how grateful I am. I'm going to go on a pilgrimage. It's just going to be me and you. And I'm going to give you praise all the way down. I'm going to take it back where I got sober. My wife's like, that's incredible. She's like, you going to be able to do that? I said, we'll soon find. We'll soon find.
We'll find out.
So, you know, I started walking like 5 miles initially, training a little bit. Because I have a broken femur bone from my late 20s, and my knees all kind of torn up from the accident. So I started realizing, man, around that 6-7 mile, man, my feet started getting those blisters again. I was like, whew, man. Anyway, one thing led to another. Started getting phone calls, you know, like, hey, what's this walk about? I said, oh, it's about mental health. It's about alcoholism. It's about drug addiction. I was really into that human trafficking space back then because of all the counseling I had to give these poor women. It really affected me, you know what I mean? Like, it really affected me because I was so close with my mom. You know, my mom was like my rescuer. Of course, I'd be close to her when, you know, but she was a beautiful woman to put up with 5 boys, you know. And then one day, you know, it just kept morphing, man. It's such a trip. And one day it was like, yo, bro, you're a Marine. And I had a lot of friends in uniform still, you know. And then it just switched. It went into first responders. I said, what a great way to pay back to the Corps. What a great way to pay back to the men, you know, that I just disappeared on. Thank God we weren't in theater anywhere. So, you know, oh my Lord. So what a great way to pay back. And then, you know, I started marinating, and then all of a sudden I'm getting phone calls. People are like, hey, I'm hearing about this. I said to my wife, I can't believe what's going on here. God is really on the move. She's like, this is crazy. I was like, oh, you know what I'm going to call it? Like, what am I going to call it? Yeah. And, you know, I just talking to all the people like me, you,
Johnny Shrey,
all my first responder friends. Yeah. A lot of them were in uniform, and they're like, well, you know, dude, it's such a stigma. Didn't you suffer with it from when you were in the Marine Corps? I was like, wow, stigma, yeah.
The stigma of alcoholism, drug addiction.
Mental health.
Mental health.
Hey, I'm not doing well, you know.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning. I called it Stomping Out The Stigma. I raised really good money the first time because first responders in Palm Beach County, they have one of the highest suicide rates out of any other county in Florida. And even prior to coming up with the name, a lot of my friends, we were all talking about it one day at lunch. I'm like, well, what are we doing about it? You know the deal. They all just looked at each other. You know. So I just started doing something about it.
So you organized the walk, the first walk.
Correct.
And that was 20 miles.
20 miles.
From Boynton Beach to Deerfield.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you planned it out, you coordinated it. You wanted a movement, you got a movement, right? More than what you kind of expected to get.
Yep. Yep.
And there's a great story that you told the first time you came on about the gentleman that started walking with you and talking with you, and he walked with you for a number of miles, I think.
Yeah, I had a lot.
A lot did that. They would just pick up and start walking.
Just pick up. Cops would jump out of their cars. They had their buddy, you know, in the unmarked, blacked out windows. But obviously somebody was driving to go away because a cop would jump out of the passenger seat. The car would take off, and
so
they walk down. You know.
So you completed that. It was quite an accomplishment. It was a great movement. You had participation from different fire stations along the way. They would meet you and greet you.
Leos, yeah.
And the way that you did it, I think, was you would walk a certain distance, and then you're not going to sleep on the street. You don't have a fucking tent with you. You're not going to. And so you would get picked up, go home in the evening, get dropped off at the same spot the next morning, and then continue your walk. Is that how that went?
The first walk, I banged it all out in one day.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it was brutal, but it was worth it.
Okay.
Because I knew I was on to something, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I knew it started so organically that it was meant to be. There wasn't like any pre-planning, manipulating, all that not, you know what I mean?
I do know what you
know
mean.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I just made that commitment. Like
I'm just going to walk.
I'm good. Yeah, and I'm going to do something about it.
I don't care about logistics. I'm going to stop here or I'm going to walk all the way down.
Correct.
I'm just walking.
Correct. And I heard one day, because it took me about 9 hours, between the rest, rubbing out your feet, changing socks, some Gatorades or whatever. It took me about 9 hours. I heard, one day, Tim, this is great, but I want you to bring awareness to it. You're going to have 8 to 9 hour walk to bring awareness to the mental health needs. So that was another thing that came into play.
Yeah.
So I would stop at all the station houses and tell them what I was doing, why I was doing it, and if I could help just that one guy avoid going through what I went through, it would all be worth it. I do 60 miles,
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting
We're getting there.
Yeah, we are. But I just started seeing the power and camaraderie and commitment and somebody being vulnerable, a male, an older fella, a Marine, a server, a guy who tells it like it is, respectfully. That I found the power in the vulnerability, and in that power, in that ability to get in that space, because it was completely something I couldn't normally do. But to be in there, that's when all the magic happens. That's all the secret sauce is in there,
Yeah.
And it would inspire other guys to talk, because you're doing these walks. It's really intimate. Sometimes it's just you and another guy next to you, and it was just incredible. I had a dinner the same night, and it happened to be right across from a fire station. All the guys came over and got food, and I had people speak, like mental health advocates. I had a fire guy speak who went through the ringer.
Yeah.
And I met him. He says I saved his life. I'm just Tim. I was one of his counselors, and I think he's got 10 or 11 years now. So he came and spoke, because I think it's really important when you have a guy that was a first responder, flight medic, and the flight medics are coming in. It's not very nice.
Nothing good happens on a flight.
Yeah.
A medical flight.
I mean,
Nothing
shit's
good.
all over the place.
Yeah,
And
it's nothing
body
good.
parts. Like, it's gross.
Yeah, you're not a taxi.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really broke this guy down over time. Like, it's just like anything else. I mean, over time, like, we're not designed to go through this stuff over and over and over. And then on top of that, it's 0 to 100, 0 to 100, 0 to 100. 2 in the morning, you're in a deep sleep. You're in your REM, and all of a sudden, boom, the tone goes off. It's like,
Or you get a call in the middle of a quiet night, and you're law enforcement.
Yeah.
And you go to a scene and it's not what you expected.
Correct. That's intense.
Shit hits the fan.
But that surge of adrenaline over and over, man, it takes a special guy. But even behind the badge or the weapon or the firefighter's mat, you're still a human being. And that's the condition as of right now. I don't think will ever go away. Does everybody go down the tube? No. But I think it comes out maybe in some different ways.
The human psyche is a fragile thing.
It really is, man. I don't think it's anything somebody can ever get used to. Like, how do you get used to that?
You adjust.
I had a fella just the other day, because we've expanded Georgia, North Carolina, and New Jersey now.
Nice.
So a guy up in Georgia, he was one of the first guys we made contact with up there, and he went through a rough call, man. 4-month-old, ejected out of a vehicle. So It was tough, like trying to keep her going to the hospital, and there'd been a bigger county up in Georgia. It took him like 20 minutes to get to the hospital. It was a lot on him.
I have a similar story. It was one of my, because I probably never told you. I'm not going to tell it now. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Infants, I had two.
Oh, jeez.
Two different bases.
Yeah. Okay.
That crept up on me over the years.
Yeah.
So I know what that guy was going through.
Yeah, it's deep, man. He texts me, and he's just, I don't know, man. There's something about when you're in that state, that space, in a way, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, there's like this beauty in it too. Like it really brought this guy, and he's an Afghanistan combat vet too. Like he gets out, and then he goes right into the fire service. But even in all that pain and the way he wrote this thing to me, he goes, I just have to write it. I can't share it right now. I just have to write it out. And it was really beautiful. Like,
journaling is another good therapeutic model,
Yeah. So, raised a lot of money. And what Stomping Out the Stigma started was creating another space to where somebody like me, or maybe like you have experienced, or your listeners experienced, you just can't get through that window, to say, hey, look, I'm not doing well. If you're a police officer, you do that, and maybe there's a possibility, they're going to take your weapon away from you.
That is the number one thing for law enforcement. You take my weapon and you put me on light duty. And if you're a street cop, or if you're out in the field, like I was on anti-terrorism, anti-smuggling, you don't want to come off the field.
Yeah.
Because of the stigma, the fucking stigma.
Correct.
Because you think that everybody's talking about you. Everyone's laughing at you. Everyone think, he's fucked up, he's crazy, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like your mind really, and none of us want that. So I'm not admitting that.
Yeah.
I'll suffer through it. I'll come to work and put on a good face and be a hard worker, but I'm cracked on the inside.
That's just like, I don't know, man. It's like chopping off a cop's, take their weapon away. Like without a weapon.
Or tell a fireman they have to stay in the station. Ooh. And then they watch their guys go out on a ladder.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad.
It's bad.
So Stomping Out the Stigma just created another space, like say for the firehouses, if those kitchen tables could talk. That's
the thing in the fire stations. It's the kitchen table, yeah.
But what that table holds and the stories that it holds, you know what I mean? Boy, if they could talk, but they don't. So, excuse me. I mean, they do around the table.
Yeah.
I'm figuratively
outside of that station, though. Nothing leaves the station.
That's it. And then you go home after a bad call, like you're supposed to act like nothing happened.
Or you go to your next call and you have to act like, because you got to do your job.
Correct.
That's the thing about law enforcement. I can speak personally for that. Like you go to these horrific incidents, and then you got to go back to work. Like you're not, like you didn't get to go home. Yeah, it's like this isn't an office job, but like take a couple of days off.
Yeah.
Like you process this horrible scene.
Yep.
And then it's done, paperwork's done, filed. You go back out on the road. Like that's not normal.
No, you don't even have time to think it through. Like,
and we're our own therapists. Like you're in a bubble. Like we talk to each other. Fire stations, they talk around the table or in the station. It's a bad bubble to be in.
Oh yeah.
When a fellow officer, or a fireman, or a paramedic, or whatever, when they're your therapist, when we talk just to talk because we want to talk about it.
Yep.
But you get that feedback. They're like, yeah, there's never a disagreement.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to look at you on the job and say, hey, that's not really fucking normal. Like, we feed off each other.
Correct. And I think everybody goes down with it. You know what I mean? Like nobody's on the outside looking in and like.
Yeah. So, Stomping Out the Stigma, what does it offer for first responders and veterans also?
It's, for the veterans, it's a place where you don't have to be part of the system. And for first responders, I don't report to any HR, EAP, no insurance. I do no, nothing like that.
So you don't ask for insurance. It's all free.
All free, 10 sessions.
That's important. Let me repeat that. 10 sessions, free.
Correct.
Autonomous.
First name only.
Yes, that's it. And nobody has to know about it. It's not going back to your department. It's not going back to your first sergeant or any of that.
And that's why it keeps growing. It tells
Yeah.
me there's a serious problem still, even though it's 2026 and a lot of things have changed, But this is one thing. I think there is some change, but it's a slow churn, and we're still losing more first responders to death by suicide nationally than in the line of duty. So I just look at the stats. I look at my own pain. As a friend of mine, he says that he turned his pain into power. Mine's grace and gratitude.
But your voice.
It's my
Like
voice.
I say with my foundation. Now, this is my cheap plug in a serious conversation, but that's what One Man, One Mic Foundation does. It's about your voice.
Correct.
It's about being heard. It's about speaking up.
Correct.
And being able to do that with dignity and not a stigma. Fuck the stigma. Like your voice, your story is your biggest power. It's your biggest strength.
Correct.
And when you share that story,
Yep.
as you are living proof,
Yep.
when you share your story and you affect just one person, you can't get stronger than that. When you go and speak, which you do, and you're speaking to a room of whether it's 5, 50, or 500,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You have the power to move that entire room with your story.
It usually does.
It does. It absolutely does. And I always go back to Johnny Shray, his third shout out this podcast. I love that. I was with him this morning, as I told you. I'm all about the Johnny Shray brand, by the way.
Yeah. He's wonderful, man.
It's being vulnerable, like showing other people, other men, other women, that you can be vulnerable. The stigma is not going to shut me up.
No.
My story is going to get told. It's hard. And I've said this 100 times on this podcast with the One Man, One Mic Foundation. I tell them, guys, people like us, we don't retell our story. We relive our story. And I saw you reliving that. You get emotional, but you lift a weight every time you tell that.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody out there is going to watch this and listen to this, and they're going to connect with you.
I would love that.
That's a guarantee.
Yeah, I would love that.
Whether they connect physically or or just you touch them and you sparked something inside of them.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of these podcasts, you do your own podcast. Give it a plug.
It's called the Recovery Centered Podcast.
Right. And it's based on recovery, right?
All recovery, mental health, first responders, veterans.
I would bet
Let's give Johnny a fourth plug. Johnny Shray was even on that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's a great case.
He's all over the place.
He is. Yeah. And it's almost 100%. Nothing's 100%, but I would say this probably 100% that somebody listened to one of your podcasts and said, "Huh."
Oh, 100%.
Huh.
Oh yeah, I get calls or messages.
So the voice, the story is what's really important in these things. In the stigma, that's how you beat the stigma. Don't let it own you. You own it.
If you look at a family that never talked about anything, just sweep it on the rug. In a matter of no time, everybody's walking on eggshells. And then you become that member of the Good and Fine Club. Because even when you had something, you knew to keep it quiet. And what we say in this house stays in this house. And then you go outside, and it's not what you're reading as a little kid in the books. That's not what's going on in my house. Why the heck am I being told that what's said here stay? It just shuts me down. So I guess, my feelings and my thoughts don't matter. And you guys like me and you, we're busting that down, Life is precious. And I do a lot of things in group with people, with mental health and addiction and substance use disorder. And I always ask them initially, sometimes depending on the day, I'll say, who thinks life is precious? And then they all, I do. And then the ones that don't, I know they're thinking it. But that's okay. And then I bust them. And it's not my style, but sometimes you got to do whatever you can, right? Alcohol kills alcoholics. Drugs kill drug addicts. Mental health kills mental people struggling with mental health. I read this thing, and it ends. The last couple of sentences are, "Always share your thoughts because life is so precious." Something to that effect. I said, so if you think, I asked you who thinks life is precious? You all raised your hand, and then you can't deny that your thoughts aren't precious, and you need to start telling people your thoughts, because how do you know it's not exactly what somebody else needed to hear? And I get it all the time. The look. Oh, wow, man, that was deep. But it's the simple things that I believe have the most empowerment.
Absolutely.
Anybody who's struggling, like our poor vets, frustrated, struggling, nightmares, all kinds of stuff, smells, like, we need to be there for them. And we need to, even if you don't say anything, because there's so many vets that don't feel heard, you know what I mean? And so many of them were the kids that were never heard, because this stuff is everywhere, man. It's from Park Bench to Park Avenue and everything in between. So,
and it's never too late.
Never.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
You might be 40, 50, 60, 70.
I was 44.
Yeah.
For me to be sober and happy, not just sober, happy.
We started off sober.
Correct. Correct.
We had to learn to get happy.
I couldn't agree more, and that's a different kind of hard.
That's a whole different thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate, though, because if you can succeed at that, it'll be the greatest thing you ever succeed at.
And as you know, the further down the road you go with it, the more proud you get of it. And pride, I always say, never helps. It only hurts. But in this case, it's a different kind of pride. You're proud of your sobriety. When you speak up out of pride, that always gets you in trouble.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when you're proud of your sobriety,
correct,
it makes you just that much more resistant to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's always just an arm's length away.
100%.
Whether it's a package or it's a bottle.
Yep, 100%.
But when you're proud of your sobriety, the further away, and I'm 35 years this past Thanksgiving.
Amazing. Congrats.
But
man.
I'm still not done, right?
Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree with you more, man.
Yeah.
I think this is the most patient fucker I know.
Yeah.
It'll wait and wait. It might even come back at when you're 70 or something. God forbid you had something tragic happen. I don't know, man.
Well, then there's the complacency too, and I we could get into the whole sobriety thing. But I had a friend that was sober for I don't know, like 20 years, maybe 18. But then he goes on vacation. He's like, it's the old story. It's right out of the blue book. I could have one.
I can have one.
The big blue book, right? And AA. I can have one.
Yep.
Just talked to him recently. He's like, I'm reevaluating. But at least he's reevaluating. He didn't go like he used to. But evidently something happened, right, to make you go, maybe I don't need that again.
Yeah.
But now you're starting all over again.
Ugh. No, no thanks, man. It just doesn't have me pimped out like that. Like, it doesn't seduce me like it used to.
No.
It's like the obsession. All the work I've done, it's like removed the obsession.
Yeah.
And so I'm around it all the time. I go into these shitty hotels to pull guys out, and it's like
God bless you, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still doing that kind of stuff too.
Well, you should always do that, right? That's what's going to keep you humble too.
My wife, when she first met me,
it's dangerous also.
She used to think I was nuts.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
'Cause she's like this. I don't know about you, but from my experience, a lot of alkies are like drug addicts or great, extra spice people.
Yeah.
We always get like these nice, quiet little, nice women. They're really polite. You know what I mean?
Nurturers. We look for nurturers.
Oh yeah, but it's true. Like they like that bad boy stuff too. Like, and when I first met my wife, I'd be like, "Look, I'm going into this room. If I don't come out in 5 minutes, call the cops." And she would look at me like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First time I ever did it, I come back, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Are you nuts? I said, I'm not nuts. I think I'm not afraid to interrupt something that could kill somebody.
Exactly.
And she was like, whoa, wow. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm just interrupting a process, you know what I mean? And it's driven by phenomenon of craving, right?
Yeah.
It's a thought. So if I can snip that process and coming up to a door unannounced,
That's why
knocking
it's
on,
dangerous. Yeah.
it's a little dangerous, but it snips that process.
Yeah.
And they're like, who is it? You know, or whatever. And if I don't hear anything, yo, it's Tim, man.
Yeah.
I'm outside. Open this thing up. We ain't doing this anymore. And they open up the door. Oh my God, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just how.
But it's not like one of those physical things. It's like you're there to help them. You're there to support them. And they usually know that.
Oh, yeah. Because if I'm
yeah.
going there, I got it through the grapevine
Yeah.
or something. Or some of them even called out. Even though they even called, like, I don't know what to expect behind the door. Kind of like when you were a police officer. You know, like sometimes these domestics are the worst.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, they got the potential.
I've been on more than a few of those.
And they got the potential to be the most deadliest.
Volatile. They're always volatile. Always volatile. There's no such thing as a routine call. Like you hear this in the movies and the TV. It's just a routine call. There's no such thing. No such thing.
Yeah, no, nobody has it like that.
Watch some bad shit happen from a routine call.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, and this is things that cops live on the edge, whether you're in the military and you're security police or military police or you're a firefighter or any of it. You know, everything. Anytime that phone rings or you get a call, it's not routine.
You're still serving a community.
Yeah.
And whether you're in the military or not, people will be people.
Yeah, yeah.
So whether you're cruising down Orchard Lane or you're on some base somewhere, you know.
That's right. That's right. So if somebody wanted to get in touch with, and I still want to talk about this recent walk that you did. I know we're on a kind of a schedule for you, but if someone wants to reach out to you, how would they do that?
Geez, man, you can SOTS, SOTS Inc. 24 at gmail.com.
INC Inc.
Yep.
SOTSINC.
Yep.
.com. And that stands for Stomping Out the Stigma
Inc. 24 at gmail.com.
Okay.
I'm all over social media, but you can contact through the website.
Open 24/7.
24/7, man. You know,
nature of the beast.
Correct. And if you're getting to me, you're in a space that took you either years to get into, or you just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And this is my last call, and if they don't answer, I'm done. And I would hate to be the last guy because I made it about me.
Oh, you missed that call. You turned your phone off. I want to go to bed tonight. I want to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
That's a patient wife also. But she understands.
Yeah, but it's gosh, man, I get calls, but it's not like it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, and I've kind of put that boundary in place too, you know.
You have to because who takes care of you, right?
Correct. And it's practicing self-care. And I'm 63, and I'm about 50% of men at my age that have to get up 3 or 4 times a night to go to the bathroom. I ain't some young buck anymore hitting the rack at 11 o'clock and sleeping straight through, you know, at 6, ready to go. I go to bed.
For all you guys in your 40s and 50s right now, listen to this man.
I go to bed tired, I wake up tired. But I got a lot of heart, and I got a lot of gratitude, and I still have that Marine. I'm a ground pounder. I am a ground pounder. I'm not an intellect. I'm none of that stuff.
Right. So speaking of that, your latest walk was about
100 miles.
100 miles, and that was about a month ago now.
I left Tequesta, Florida, on December 4th, and I got down to Surfside Memorial on December 12th.
100 miles.
100 miles, and it was epic.
Well,
epic.
Yeah.
You know, we started in Tequesta, pipes and drums.
Next year, you have to. You have to. I'm not telling you what to do. I love you, buddy. I love you.
You
have to get a document. Like, get this documented. Like, documentary style, like, real deal. Like,
as it continues to grow and morph, I'm getting to that point because up until even this year, I'm like, I can't spend that because that can just help another guy. I'm not spending because I got a full-time job.
Right.
I'm like, I can't stroke. I'm not doing 500. Nope. Unless it was to like a chili cook-off for the Leos.
Right.
Firefighters, something like that. I gave out 3 scholarships last year to a local high school but they had to be part of the scholarship was either your parents were first responders, you're going to an academy, because this high school I gave, it was Wellington High School.
Okay. Yeah.
They have like a fire academy, or you were going into the field like as a psychologist or clinically into that space, first responder space, veteran space. And then you had some other requirements, GPA, average, blah, blah, blah. I was initially only going to do one. But as I started reading, I said to my wife, I said, you can't say no to this. So I ended up doing 3.
Can't say no. Yeah.
But the gratitude, and actually one of the kids that won, his dad was a Leo, Palm Beach County Leo, and he came up to me after. He's like, what you're doing is amazing.
Yeah.
And I said,
it's very unique, I can tell you that.
And I guess I'm a humble guy, man. I don't want to, what I always say, what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's not about me. I made it about me, and I drank my ass off and smoked a ton of crack when it was about me. And I just don't want to live like that.
So I go through that too, right? This is not a topper story. That's a bad thing in podcasting, but I can absolutely relate to that because the things that I do or I've done or accomplishments in my life, I'm always giving someone else credit. But someone said to me one day, but you're the one that's walking in the shoes. You're the one that actually did it. We just suggested or we recommended.
Yeah.
But they were the ones that motivated you, right? But we are the ones that it's hard to do. But we're the ones that put the shoes on and make these things happen.
I get my fill, like putting my money where my mouth is.
Yes.
That's where I get my fill, we had a heroes dinner this, we have them every year, and I had a couple comments like, hey, you should be more involved with the emceeing, and I already did what needed to be done. And that was 100 miles and talked to countless men and women, countless, on an intimate level, even walking out of one station house by a fella telling me I've never told anybody this, to asking another guy, wow, that was really deep, man. Can I ask you a question? He's like, yeah. And at first he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I thought I overstepped my boundaries.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a personal question? It's like, really? It's like, oh, man. And he said, yeah, of course. I said, man, what made you get so vulnerable like that?
Is that word again?
And he said it again. Really? I'm like, oh, man, double dipped here with the old man stuff. I said, yeah, I just want to. And, he's like, dude, you're a Marine, struggled in your mental health and by the stigma. You're 60 miles, or I forget what it was, 60, 70 miles in. You still got 30 miles to go, and you're doing it for us. Yeah, I felt comfortable with you.
Yeah.
So all these moments, these intimate moments, it makes me stronger, and it convicts me even more. And it
makes you more humble.
Makes me more humble.
Just when you think you can't be humbled enough, something happens in this space that we kind of work in, right? Working with veterans and first responders.
Yeah.
Something comes out of nowhere. And if you're paying attention and you have self-awareness, which is very important in what we do, you will get humbled more than you think. Humbled in a good way, not humbled in a, like if the cocky, oh, you got humbled. No, like you saved somebody's life.
Yeah.
You literally saved somebody's life.
I think so.
How do you like to go, hey, look at me, right? No.
I just say thank you, God. Thank you, God, for the ability to still do what I do, And I got down to Surfside 9 days later.
Now, to the audience that's not familiar with Surfside, because there's listeners all over the country with this. Surfside is the incident of the collapsed condominium in South Florida, Surfside, Florida.
Correct.
4 years now? 5?
4 or 5.
Yeah, it's like in that. So it was horrible for the people that live down here. It was horrible, right? But just like any tragedy. So when you decide what, say, cause, for lack of a better word, that you're going to donate your walking to, how did you come up with Surfside? Like, what was the significance of Surfside to this particular year, this particular 100-mile journey What was it? What triggered that?
Well, I wanted to do something that would hit home, and bring a lot of attention and create a lot of conversation to the needs of the mental health of our first responders, and we need to start talking about it more. And however I can do that. So I had 9 days to talk about it. They recovered 98 souls out of there.
Yes.
So from Tequesta, Florida, to Miami, Surfside, Miami, Florida, we routed it through the, all these other first responders who were phenomenal in logistics, like just crazy good. We did the 98 miles, and a couple times to get the 98, we had to do a little detour.
Sure.
So it was like 100 miles.
Yeah.
But the theme of it was 98 lives, 98 miles, because not only did they recover 98 souls, the horrific trauma, mental health that caused on all the first responders and the Leos and the veterans.
Because that's not a one day and done thing. That's a continuous.
Well, I had a guy walk with me in my last station stop in Miami before I got to Surfside, and those guys were off the chains, man. They were so pumped. They're pulling ladders off their trucks and carrying them, walking with me.
Nice.
A whole pack of us. Like, it was insane. Like, I just kept hearing the Rocky song, Like,
yeah.
Came over a bridge. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue had both of their fire boats out there.
That's awesome.
Blowing the hoses.
That's awesome.
Like, the sirens are going, and it was so deep. But when we got down to the memorial, because there's a memorial down there now, and one of the fellas that spoke, because we had the pipes were there, honor guard was there, and we did a ceremony, and man, this guy
tore it up.
Yeah, because he's like, "Thank you for doing this."
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, where's he going? Where's he going with this? He's like, I was on that pile for 2 months. And you see that little building over there? I had countless meetings with battalion chief. You can't get any rougher. Those guys are rough.
Yeah.
Good men, you know what I mean? I've had countless meetings in that building, and I haven't been back since. I couldn't come back until you started rolling through, and we started getting word of you coming down, and we're like, what this guy's doing? He had his own words to it, and it was just everybody started doing the old,
Rubbing the eyes. Yeah.
So I've had, in the last 4 years, I've had all these moments, I just can't turn back. Like, I can't turn back, Actually, we're going to go 5 times now with Johnny Schrey, because we had a combat Marine in North Carolina. I don't even know how. I don't even want to know how the heck he got my number. But he contacted me.
That's all that matters.
It's all that matters. Combat vet. He was Gulf, right? Yeah, Gulf. And I said, why don't you start out with a mentor first? Because he was really paranoid about, therapists, maybe his experience with the VA. No disrespect to the VA.
He's right.
I said, look, I know a really great Marine, seasoned, just a real deal, and I'll have him reach out to you. He can be a mentor just to get you going, get you used to talking, about what's going on instead of holding it in him, because you'll never win. And unfortunately, if we hold it too long, maybe other things happen. And so
Nothing good.
I reached out to Johnny. Said, yo, I need you. SOTS needs you, man. Johnny was on it like white on rice.
Yeah.
Started mentoring the guy, and that's the beautiful thing. So it keeps growing. This year's dinner was incredible. We even had a state representative call in during the dinner. She's very pro first responder. And we had some heavy hitters. We were talking about them before, and it just keeps doing its
So
thing.
let me ask you this. You said you had somebody up in another state or a couple of states. Are they doing what you're doing?
We help them.
You help them?
So we've helped in Georgia. Georgia's kind of
do the same thing, like a walk for a cause, or just helping first responders.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we've established ourselves in Georgia. It's kind of spreading.
So I had interviewed a veteran golf nonprofit in Oklahoma, and what these guys do, there's 5 of them, and they they find spots and they go. They're not all together. They're friends. They were the veterans together. They all were stationed together, and they go to different locations around the country, golf courses, and they will do a fundraiser for your foundation, and they do 100 holes.
Wow.
Yeah. Like in 100 holes is and they don't stop until they finish the 100 holes. And it's from break of dawn to, sometimes at night. So I had asked them, I said, it's a lot of walking. That's a lot of, and he said, that's right. And we're not young guys anymore. And I said, have you ever thought that get a younger person involved and say, okay, if you want to be part of this, so then like Johnny can take a step back and somebody fills his spot, and you get those young, fresh legs and they're young, so you keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of two things that come to mind? And again, this is just me.
Yeah.
Eventually, there's going to come a time where Tim's not going to be able to do 100 miles, and you're not going to go every year like next year doing 200. That's not a thing that you're. Okay. No, hey, listen, if you're going to keep going, like that's.
When I got to Miami in December, people were like, oh my God, how do you feel? Dude, man, I was looking at my phone walking how far the first key was from Miami. It was like another 100 and I could have kept going.
You got to walk to the Keys?
I could have kept going though. Like,
yeah,
something happens. You know what I mean?
You.
Like,
I get you. Yeah.
It's just you get in that zone. Because psychologically, like, okay, I walked 100 in December, but like you said, I'm 63, man.
Yeah. Broken
femur in my late 20s, knee all screwed up. Like, I got to compensate for that too. So I started training like in August. So August, September.
Yes, you did. I saw all your
would
posts.
See me.
Yeah, I see your posts. Yeah.
But it's the psychological thing too, right? 15 miles by yourself. Florida in August, Florida in September, Florida in October. You're getting pounded out there, and you got to sit down again. And then, I could just call my wife right now. She could pick me up.
Yeah.
You got to battle all that psychologically. I never had a beard in my life. And I'm 63 until 4 years ago. Because when I was training for the 20-miler, one day I was so frustrated, man. I was getting my ass kicked. Someone was killing me. I was sitting down like every 5 minutes. What did you get yourself into?
Fuck this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I was just like, what
you can swear, fuck this.
So I begged God, man, that night before I went to bed, man, here I go again. It's so emotional, all these turning points. And where we're at now,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was just like, God, please help me, man. I'm struggling. And I shaved my whole life the next morning.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
I was just about to shave again, and I just heard this, don't shave.
It's like in hockey, the playoff beard. Like all hockey players in the playoffs, they don't shave.
Correct, dude. And then every day I was like, well, because I haven't had hair on my face my whole life. How can you not notice it?
Right.
And it just kept me focused. Keep going, Timmy. Keep going. And then, I don't know, it fills in a little more. My wife's like, I really like it.
It fits you, yeah.
It fits me. I'm like, all right. And other people, because people have known me for years.
Yeah.
And now I got this scruff.
Yeah, your playoff beard.
And it's just been part of the movement ever since.
So have you ever, number one, thought of eventually maybe finding somebody that can pass the torch, right, to somebody else? It's still SOTS, and starting that in another state. Like, hey, this is what we do. This is all we need. This is what we request. And has that ever come to like a conversation?
I feel like the guy that, grew up on the farm, struck gold. Or oil, I should say, maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
because the formula will work all over the country.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
It just, I don't know. It was on my heart one day. And I'm like the guy who was digging a fence pole hose.
You're like Jed Clampett.
Yeah.
There you go.
I missed the bunny. Next thing you know, the oil's...
Black gold, buddy. You hit some Texas tea.
Yeah. And, dude, I am so open to everything.
Yeah.
Like, if this could ever be a tunnel to the towers... I would say, thank you, God. And then hopefully I would hear back, good job, pass the baton. And I'd be down with that, Scott. Like, obviously it would have to be the right guy.
So there's a vetting thing that has to go through that.
Yeah, I would need help with that because I'm just the guy who was firing the bullet, the weapon at the rabbit, and I struck,
Yeah, that black gold and Texas tea, but yeah.
And did I think it'd be like this 4 years down the road? No, I even pay.
Beautiful, man.
I have a, and I've got like culturally competent therapists now. I didn't have that initially. I had really good therapists, trauma. People, therapists that were in that space, certified, like it was all that. I'm not saying that didn't work. It worked, obviously, but it spread so much. Now I got people that are culturally competent. I have this one woman up in Orlando. She's up on the Mount Dora fire rescue. She's a licensed mental health counselor, and she's still on one of the rescues.
Wow.
Still goes on call. She's still part of the.
Yeah.
Struck gold up there, like gold license. Yeah. She's a beast, and she's a huge advocate. And I even pay for things like the $35 copay that one a first responder up there was getting Baker acted because they were just so off their medication, so over, but they couldn't afford it. Who the heck am I to ask why can't you afford $35?
It's not my place.
It's not my place, and I trust her. I've been working with her for a couple of years. I said, sure, what do they need? It's $35. So you're telling me we can get somebody back on the beam again, $35 twice a month? So they'll go every 2 weeks so they can get their medication, get their...
No brainer.
Did it for a year. I said, and every once in a while, because I really don't want to know anything, unless there's obviously I need to. Don't want to know anything. She would say, hey, it's been about 5 months. Just wanted to let you know, thank you so much. That person's doing so good. They're actually working again. From Baker Act. $35. $35 every 2 weeks.
That's it.
You're damn right I'm going to keep walking.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's one of those things, like, again, one man, one mic. I want people veterans all over the country to teach other veterans how to podcast, like you grow a coaching tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think the formula that you have with SOTS is that's a no-brainer. It's natural progression.
It really is.
As they say.
Scott, it's so natural.
Yes.
Because you brought up the thing like, well, what happens if you can't walk one day like that?
There's some lunatic out there that will walk 100 just for you.
Yeah. And you know what this lunatic's thinking?
Have at it.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take a shot.
Yeah.
Riding a bike from here to Ocala.
Oh.
Ocala has a beautiful, from what I understand, the center of town, a big first responders statue on, like this really, really nice. So what a phenomenal feat, man. It's about 375 miles biking, I could probably bang out 30, 40 a day.
I have a great friend from South Philly. He worked with me in Customs and Border Protection, then he was an air marshal, but he's an Army veteran. And if I tell him about that, well, you got an ally up there, buddy, for real.
Yeah, I would need that, man.
Yeah, you got an ally. He's that guy that was, whatever you need me to do.
Yeah, because
type guy. So,
when you do these walks, like safety obviously is paramount too,
Oh, yeah.
I'm using the roads all the cars are using. Thank God I take a lot of sidewalks, and thank God for the escorts.
Yeah.
If it's not the fire department's PD, helping me out. But if they get really deep, sometimes there's like a ton of people.
Yeah.
Guys walk down the street with ladders and grab them off their
insane.
truck.
Yeah.
Oh, it was insane. Trucks going by, cops going by. Woo woo. They're on the other side.
It's motivating. That's what keeps you moving.
It was incredible.
Yeah, it's what keeps you moving.
Incredible.
Yeah. So once again, Stomping Out the Stigma offers free counseling, 10 sessions, autonomous, away from your job, away from whatever you're doing, and it's all confidential.
If somebody calls in, I say, usually, right, hey, I heard about you. I heard about you, went to your website, one of my buddies, and I said, that's fantastic. From now on, we're first name only. That's Roger that. Okay, copy. I'm just going to ask you 2 questions, but you answer them on your terms, not mine, because I have to have a little info so I can hook you up with who I think would be the appropriate therapist for you. Yes. Are you cool with that? Yeah, man. All right. So we don't need the details. Just tell me a little bit about what's going on. But it's not rocket science. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can gather without details when those when those kind of calls come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number one, he's tapped out or she's tapped out. Before
Meaning,
they even say anything.
that's recovery jargon. We were talking about this before. Explain to the people that aren't addicts and alcoholics. Tapped out means
you're biting your fingernails.
That's it.
You know, so if you're calling me or you're hooking up with, like, you're already there. It's unmanageable.
Yeah.
So we already know that. So anyway, he has a couple of questions. First name only. And I love it like that because I raise my own money. I don't have to answer to anybody. No EAP, no HR, no insurance company, none of that nonsense. And the only person I answer to is the person who calls in.
And these therapists offer their time.
I pay them.
You pay them, but they're professional.
Oh, they're all licensed.
Yeah, they're all licensed.
I wouldn't deal with anybody that doesn't have a license.
Right.
I have to know them. I think the one that I use, I have at least 5 years, but my couple of my go-tos, 10, 12, 13 years.
Wow.
I have a couple agencies that are just first responders only. Like, it's been amazing, man. It's been amazing. I had one of the guys write me a letter of his experience with Stomping Out the Stigma, and he came. Nobody knew except me, and he came from Georgia down to the dinner in Fort Lauderdale. It was on January 17th of this year, 2026. And I was just like, look, people, I just want to let you know how thankful I am, and all the people that we've helped, how thankful and grateful they are. I wanted you to experience where your money's going for this dinner tonight. So I have a letter for you from somebody that we helped in Georgia. I read the letter. You could tell everybody's like,
yeah.
I just look up.
Yeah.
And I said, he happens to be sitting right over there. I said, Kyle, would you stand up? Because he came, he drove.
Wow.
He loves what we're doing.
Yeah.
And he's very grateful. And the guy that hooked me up with him, he's like, Tim, he was on the edge. If you and I didn't meet, I don't think he'd be around.
We all have that one person or that one facility. And again, number 6, Johnny Schray tells me when I asked him, because he was a heavy hitter.
That's right.
Yeah. How, and he said it's because of this guy with this facility.
Yep.
Yep. And I have a senior master sergeant back at Mather Air Force Base. It doesn't exist anymore in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Who came and talked to me. And he's like, this is what you need to do. When they were ready to kick me out.
Yep.
This guy came out of nowhere, who everybody thought was an asshole. I always liked him. And he said, this is what you need to do. You need to go self-ID. You need to go self-ID because this is what they're planning, and you don't deserve that. And that guy changed my life. Changed my life. Guy. Yeah. We all have that one guy.
I got one guy.
And you are that guy's one guy.
That's why I'm always after that one guy.
Yeah.
Because I know the power of that one guy.
Or a woman. I don't want to, put that. There's women that have stepped up
I've helped,
just as much. Yeah.
We've helped. You'd be amazed. Well, maybe you wouldn't, but maybe some of your audience would be amazed how many women we've helped.
Yeah.
And they're human beings too.
Yeah. It's different for women, though.
100%.
Yeah, it's different for women.
It's just different. They're designed differently. You know? They think differently. They feel differently. There's everything different about a woman.
Yeah, yeah. And if I always have this, I never realized it until, probably recently in my life. I'm 62 now, and that my mom she was suffering from depression. Like, we never talked about that. She never mentioned it. She kept a lot to herself. She slept a lot. Never put it together. So when I did, and like you, my mom was a huge, biggest influence on me.
Yep.
Tough as nails. Her favorite 2 words were tough shit. Right? That's right. I grew up in that same kind of tough shit. Single mom.
Yeah.
But I just always I really, really have extra empathy for women that are going through things like
You're
this.
Just like me.
I just think of my mom, and I'm like, and no one was helping her.
Yep.
Like she white knuckled right through it with 3 boys. Your mom 5. There was 5 in your family.
Yep.
And it's just extra empathy comes out of me for that. It's like, oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
That's why when I mentioned, how the lane I was in, for mental health, alcoholism. I was doing human trafficking because as a counselor to have
that's another episode right there, buddy.
And to hear these women that are 18, 19, 20 in your group, you're meeting them, and then you get that out of the way, get them to feel safe, and then you start talking a little more, take it down a couple of levels. It's like,
heavy. That's not even a word. Yeah,
it's deep, man.
Yeah,
it's very, very wounding, very dilapidating, kind of like.
Yeah. So if you're a woman out there, I know we mentioned guys and he, but that's the environment that we came up in. These are the people we worked with. There were very few women that you served with, or that I served with, as far as like canine or. It's a very small percentage, right?
Yeah.
But we don't need to. We're not leaving out women for any other reason other than our lived experiences.
No, you're my sisters.
We're men. Yeah, exactly.
They're my sisters, man.
Yeah.
They're the sisters I never had.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always wanted one.
Right?
I don't care if you think that's
I don't
weird
know.
or not.
My brother always said, there was three of us. He said, I'm glad we don't have a sister because her life would have been miserable with the three of us. I don't know if 5 boys and 1 sister really works.
I'm just that curious guy, like what would she have looked like?
Yeah.
What would she be doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, would she had a kid? Like, what would she be like?
Yeah.
Would she play piano? I don't know.
She definitely wouldn't have had a boyfriend for a long time with 5 brothers.
Well, that would have been a pretty tough screening process to get through.
Exactly. That's the key right there. Yeah. Well, Tim, man, I'm sure we're leaving something on the table, but you are a reoccurring guest. So
thank you, man. I'm honored.
Don't be surprised if 4 or 5 months from now you're back on, and we have a lot more to talk about.
Yeah.
Just in this conversation, we left some stuff on the table.
Yeah.
But that's, as you know, as a podcaster, fellow podcaster, that's good content, right? We have more content to talk about another time. But it's always enlightening. My friend, thank you for coming on again. I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy, and I appreciate the drive down here to Boca. And so it's STOTSINC.com. STOTS.
SOS.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, now you got me doing it.
SOTS. Yes, SOTS. INC. SOTS. Two recovering addicts trying to figure out an acronym. What the hell?
Like a Beavis and Butthead moment,
Yeah.
SOTS Inc. INC.
INC.com. There you go.
24 at gmail.com.
All right. If this.
Or you can go to the website, sotsinc.org.
.org. Okay. So if this episode touched you in any way, shape, or form, and you know somebody or you are somebody, and you don't necessarily have to be in the South Florida area, as we found out.
Correct.
Please reach out to Tim. I don't usually do this, but I 100% vouch for him. Do it. Don't white knuckle it. Like Tim said, don't chew your fingernails off. If you know somebody or you are somebody, reach out. That's what it's for. And it's free.
Amen.
It's free. That's big.
First name only. We don't have to answer anybody except you.
No HR.
Nope.
Nothing.
No, we don't report to any agency.
Separate entity.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
And, well, Tim, we built another bridge today, and I always appreciate your time. I appreciate you. Tim is as genuine off the camera as he is on the camera. I can tell you that.
Awesome.
A lot of respect.
Thank you.
And if you like this, share it. If you didn't like it, well, thanks for watching and listening. This has to be over an hour right now. I think we went beyond our.
I think we did.
Tim's going to be late for his next point, but that's cool. And as I always say, you will see me and hear me next week.